Chosen one, can you sense it? The air feels heavier, time feels slower, and your spirit knows something is coming. This is not just another Tuesday. September 9th has been set apart. A day when heaven's energy will descend, not as an idea, not as a theory, but as a living presence you will feel in your body, in your mind, and in your spirit. The sudden fatigue, the restless emotions, the vivid dreams, these have not been random. They were the whispers of preparation. And now the moment has arrived. Tonight, the divine current will move. It will awaken what was hidden, heal what was broken, and mark you so deeply that you will never again see your life the same way. So I ask you, will you walk through this day like everyone else, blind to its weight? Or will you recognize that heaven has written September 9th as the day when the chosen will feel the divine energy? Chosen one, there are days that pass unnoticed, swallowed by routine, forgotten before the week even ends. And then there are days that were written into existence long before your first breath, days heaven carved into the timeline of creation as altars, as thresholds, as markers of destiny. September 9th, this Tuesday, is one of those days. This is not just another Tuesday on the calendar. To the distracted, it will look ordinary. People will wake, go to work, scroll through their phones, and go to sleep, never realizing what was available. But to those who are awake, to the chosen, the atmosphere will feel different. The weight of heaven will rest heavier on the earth. Time itself will seem charged. The air will vibrate with presence. This Tuesday has been set apart. Look back at the days leading up to this moment. The eclipse was not random. The stirring in your body and emotions was not without purpose. Everything has been leading to this day, as if the heavens have been aligning not only the stars above, but also the rhythm of your own life. Every silence you endured, every unanswered prayer, every tear you carried alone, all of it was preparation for what will now break open. And here is the mystery. Heaven does not separate a day for no reason. When the divine chooses to highlight a moment in time, it means something is about to shift in the story of the chosen. This Tuesday is not a parenthesis. It is a page-turning moment. You will look back and realize your journey can no longer be told without it. The energy you will feel today will not simply come from outside. It will rise within you. For some, it will manifest as peace, so deep it quiets storms that have raged for years. For others, it will come as fire, an urgency, a conviction that the season of delay has ended. And for many, it will be a subtle but undeniable awareness. Something holy is here. I am not alone. This Tuesday has been marked as a response. Think of the nights you begged for a sign. Think of the questions that gnawed at you. Am I forgotten? Is the promise still alive? September 9th stands as heaven's answer. It is a day designed to silence doubt and awaken faith. It is God's way of saying, I was never late. I was aligning everything. And now the moment has come. Do not be surprised if your body feels strange as the hours unfold. Some will feel heavy as though carrying invisible weight. Others will feel restless, unable to sit still. Some may tremble, while others may feel exhausted and pulled into deep rest. This is not weakness. This is testimony. Your body is not betraying you, it is bearing witness that this day is not like others. Your mind, too, will be stirred. Thoughts may come quickly, flashes of clarity arriving without explanation. Ideas long buried may resurface. A memory may suddenly carry prophetic meaning. This is what happens when heaven interrupts your logic. The divine uses even your thoughts to confirm that a new chapter has opened. Above all, your spirit will know. There will be moments today when you sense presence in the room. Though no one else is there, you may feel the urge to pray, to weep, to sit in silence and simply listen. That is the Spirit calling you into alignment. The veil will feel thinner, the distance between heaven and earth smaller. The ordinary will be laced with the eternal. And yet, the question remains, how will you live this Tuesday? Many will walk through it blind, missing the treasure hidden in plain sight. But you, chosen one, are being invited to recognize it, to mark it, to declare, this is the day heaven set apart for me. September 9th is not coincidence. It is covenant. It is not routine. It is revelation. It is not simply a date on a calendar. It is a door, and heaven is asking, will you step through? So I ask you now, will you treat September 9th as just another Tuesday, or will you honor it as the day heaven wrote into your story, the day that carries the imprint of divine energy, waiting to mark you forever? Chosen one, nothing heaven does is random. Every movement is precise, every appointed time intentional. September 9th is not just a date, it is a prophetic sign. A sign carefully written into creation, woven into the story of the chosen, meant to speak louder than words ever could. A prophetic sign is not about spectacle, it's about meaning. To most, this Tuesday will look normal. Another sunrise, another set of hours, another nightfall. But to those with eyes to see, this day will shine like a beacon. It will stand out as though marked with invisible ink, only discernible to awakened hearts. What others dismiss as coincidence, you will recognize as confirmation. This Tuesday does not come in isolation, it follows a sequence. The eclipse was the opening note, the blood moon, the trumpet call. September 9th continues the melody, adding depth to the story heaven is composing. It is not separate, but connected, a next chapter in a pattern of divine alignment. Heaven does not scatter signs randomly, it builds them, layer upon layer, until the meaning is undeniable. And what is the message? That heaven remembers, that the silence has not been abandonment, that promises long buried are still alive. September 9th is heaven's way of saying, look closer. The story is unfolding. You have not been forgotten. Prophetic signs always carry tension. They are subtle enough to be ignored, yet strong enough to change everything for those who discern them. That is the dividing line. Many will wake and sleep without noticing. But the chosen will sense weight in the air, urgency in their spirit, vibration in the unseen. They will know, this day is different. Do not underestimate how heaven speaks through time itself. Dates are not mere numbers, they are markers. Just as seasons shift in nature, there are appointed moments when heaven announces a shift in the spirit. September 9th is such a moment. It closes a cycle of silence and opens a new season of manifestation. Notice how this sign arrives not in ease, but in pressure. The days leading up to it have been marked with heaviness, restlessness, strange dreams, unshakable emotions. That is not chaos without cause. It is the prelude. Prophetic signs rarely come in still waters. They come in the storm, so that their power is undeniable. The turbulence is proof that heaven is breaking in. And here is the depth. September 9th is not only a sign for the collective chosen, it is personal. It speaks directly to you. It whispers that your prayers were heard, your tears recorded, your waiting not in vain. It ties together the unseen threads of your story and confirms that you are held in the design of something larger. The date itself becomes a letter from God, written not in ink but in presence. Do not expect the sign to shout. Expect it to resonate. It will come through sensations in your body, sudden clarity in your thoughts, patterns in your days, synchronicities too precise to ignore. Heaven speaks in detail, and the chosen learn to read those details. September 9th will unfold as a conversation between the Creator and your spirit, if you are listening. The danger, as always, is dismissal. To call what is holy coincidence. To reduce what is divine to chance. Many will make that mistake, but you, chosen one, are being invited into discernment, to see beyond surface and hear beyond sound, to recognize that the invisible is pressing into the visible. This Tuesday is not only another step in time, it is a marker in eternity. It is heaven's handwriting across the calendar, declaring, I am present, I am moving, and you are part of the story. So I ask you, will you treat September 9th as an ordinary day, or will you discern it as the prophetic sign it was always meant to be? Chosen one, heaven never moves without leaving traces. Before divine energy descends in fullness, it announces itself, sometimes in whispers, sometimes in waves, always in ways that those who are awake can recognize. September 9th will not arrive empty. It will be preceded and accompanied by signs, signals that divine energy is already pressing into the natural. Many of these signs have already been stirring. The body, that fragile vessel of flesh, is often the first to react. Some have felt exhaustion that defies explanation. Others, sudden bursts of energy, as though strength has been borrowed from an unseen source. Shivers, warmth, tension in the chest or head, all of it is evidence. Your body is more than biology. It is a temple, and when divine presence draws near, the temple responds. Dreams have been another messenger. Perhaps you've woken from nights filled with vivid visions, encounters so detailed they refuse to fade, numbers repeating, old faces resurfacing, strange places carrying inexplicable weight. These are not accidents of the subconscious. They are codes. The spirit often chooses the night as a stage when the noise of the world quiets and the soul is more open. Through dreams, heaven has been preparing the chosen for the reality of this Tuesday. Emotions too have been stirred, a restlessness you can't name, a wave of anticipation mixed with unease, as though your soul knows something your mind cannot yet explain. Tears without clear cause, laughter at unexpected moments, sensitivity to music, to silence, to the smallest gestures around you. This is not instability, it is resonance. Your heart is vibrating in rhythm with the energy that is about to manifest. The environment has also carried signs. Words are spoken casually by strangers that strike like prophecy. Songs on the radio aligning with your hidden thoughts, repeated encounters with the same themes, the same numbers, the same impressions. Even nature seems to participate, winds shifting, nights feeling unusually heavy, the stillness itself charged. To the distracted, these things mean nothing. To the chosen, they are breadcrumbs leading to revelation. Some signs are subtle, almost invisible. A sense of being watched over. The quiet certainty that you are not alone even in empty rooms. Time seeming to move differently, slower or faster, bending around moments of intensity, a sudden urge to pause, to breathe, to pray. These are the footprints of divine energy, signs that the unseen is pressing closer. But let us be clear, not every sign feels gentle. Sometimes, divine energy announces itself through disruption. Old memories surface, painful wounds reopen, conflicts arise unexpectedly. This, too, is preparation. Energy comes to heal, but healing often requires exposure. What was hidden must come to light before it can be dissolved. The discomfort is not punishment. It is process. The danger is misinterpretation. Many pray for signs and then dismiss them when they come. They rationalize away the dreams, ignore the synchronicities, medicate the symptoms, bury the emotions. In doing so, they silence the conversation heaven has already started. The chosen cannot afford such blindness. Signs are sacred. To treat them as coincidence is to close your heart to the fullness of what is being released. Understand this. The eclipse of the moon was not the end. It was the announcement, and September 9th is the continuation. The signs are not random sparks. They are signals of a larger fire. Each shiver, each dream, each alignment is a reminder. The divine is already here and more is coming. So, chosen one, do not ignore what your body, mind, and spirit have been whispering. Do not dismiss what your surroundings have been echoing. Pay attention. Honor the signs. Because the energy you are sensing is not imagination, it is the evidence of heaven preparing you for the fullness of this Tuesday. And I ask you, will you dismiss the signals as chance, or will you recognize them as heaven's language, calling you to readiness? Chosen one, when divine energy descends, it does not stop at the surface. It penetrates. It moves through the layers of your being, touching body, stirring mind, awakening spirit. And this Tuesday, September 9th, will be no different. The impact will not remain in the heavens. It will move through you. The body, fragile and yet sacred, often speaks first. Some will feel heavy as if carrying invisible weight. Others will tremble, this is skin alive with chills or waves of heat. A few will collapse into deep rest, pulled into hours of sleep that feel more like journeys than slumber. And others still will feel the opposite, bursts of vitality, an almost electric current rushing through their veins. These are not illnesses, not malfunctions. They are adjustments. The body, the vessel, is aligning with the frequency of the divine. It reacts because it recognizes. For some, the signs will be subtle, a quickening heartbeat, warmth in the palms, tears forming for no reason. For others, they will be overwhelming, dizziness, shaking, overwhelming sensations of presence. Neither is more holy than the other. The point is not intensity, but recognition. Whether gentle or strong, the body will testify, heaven has drawn near. The mind, too, will come under the impact. Thoughts long tangled will begin to unravel. Questions that circled endlessly will suddenly quiet. It will feel as though veils are lifting, allowing clarity to shine where confusion once reigned. Some will find themselves flooded with ideas, connections, revelation, moments of insight that feel as if they were dropped straight from above. Others will simply feel peace, a stillness of thought they have not tasted in years. Yet, be prepared. Not every mental experience will be calm. Some may feel resistance, intrusive doubts rising like shadows, fear pressing against revelation. This is because the mind often fights what it cannot control. But do not fear. The very fact that the resistance rises is proof that the divine is working to break its hold. When heaven presses in, the noise grows louder before it falls silent. Emotions will not be spared. For some, the impact will be joy, laughter, lightness, hope bubbling from nowhere. For others, it will be tears, weeping that feels endless but leaves behind cleansing. Some will swing between both, grief and joy, sorrow and release. Do not mistake the tears for weakness. They are evidence that what was trapped in your soul is being freed. The divine energy does not come only to comfort, it comes to heal. And healing often requires release. But deepest of all is the spirit. Here, the impact will be undeniable. Some will feel weight, a holy heaviness pressing them to stillness, as if the very air has thickened with presence. Others will be pulled into prayer without effort, words spilling with fire and authority. Dreams may intensify, visions may flash, inner knowing may rise like a voice inside. However it manifests, the Spirit will declare the truth. This day has been marked. The impact is not the same for everyone, but the result is universal. Transformation. You will not leave this Tuesday untouched. The body will remember in sensations. The mind will remember in clarity. The spirit will remember in activation. You will look back and know, I was not imagining. Something holy moved through me. And do not think the impact ends when the day does. Energy leaves echoes. Weeks later, you will notice new patterns, a lighter step, a quieter mind, a stronger will to pray, a bolder faith. What begins as an experience becomes a lifestyle. The divine presence you feel today will ripple forward into tomorrow, and the next, and the next. Chosen one, do not resist what comes. Do not fear the trembling, the tears, the fire, the silence. Each is a language. Each is a sign. Each is heaven's way of engraving this day into you. So I ask you, when your body shakes, when your mind clears, when your spirit ignites, will you explain it away as coincidence? Or will you receive it as proof that September 9th was the day heaven chose to leave its mark on you? How to prepare for this day. Chosen one, a day set apart by heaven, cannot be entered carelessly. If September 9th carries divine energy, then preparation is not optional. It is essential. Heaven will move, yes, but the measure of what you receive depends on the posture of your heart, the focus of your mind, and the readiness of your spirit. Preparation begins in awareness. Too many treat sacred days as ordinary, and in doing so, they miss the invitation. You must decide, even before the hours arrive, that this Tuesday is not like the others. Speak it, declare it, set it apart in your mind and heart. This day has been chosen. I will honor it. Such declarations may seem small, but they open doors in the unseen. Reverence is always the key that unlocks revelation. The heart must be prepared first. If you carry bitterness, release it. If you cling to fear, let it go. The divine energy that descends will not settle where there is no room. Make space. Forgive where you need to forgive. Surrender what you cannot control. Choose to approach this day with expectation, not with cynicism. A hardened heart cannot perceive what heaven releases. A tender heart, however, becomes fertile ground for transformation. The body also matters. Do not ignore it. Rest if you are weary. Hydrate. Eat lightly. Avoid draining habits. Your body is a vessel, and when heaven pours out, the vessel must be ready to hold it. If you feel called to fast, fast. If you feel called to stillness, rest. This is not about ritual. It is about sensitivity. Care for your body so that when the energy flows, you can perceive it fully rather than fight against it. Then comes the mind. Silence is your ally. In a world overflowing with a distraction, the divine often whispers, prepare your mind by cutting away noise, even if only for a while. Step away from endless scrolling, mute the voices that fill you with fear, and make space for quiet. Expect impressions to come, a thought, a phrase, a melody carrying hidden meaning. If your mind is still, you will recognize them. If it is cluttered, they will pass unnoticed. Above all, prepare the spirit. This does not require eloquent prayers or complicated words. It requires honesty. Speak simply to God, I am ready. I surrender. I want what you are releasing. Even a whispered prayer, born from sincerity, can shift atmospheres. Heaven does not measure the length of your words, but the posture of your spirit. A surrendered heart is a lightning rod for divine presence. Do not neglect the space around you. Where you spend this day can shape how you experience it. Choose a place that carries peace, a room where distractions are few, a corner where silence can rest, a natural setting where creation itself testifies. Light a candle, play gentle worship, or simply sit in stillness. Create atmosphere that mirrors your expectation. The environment will not summon heaven, but it can amplify your awareness of it. Preparation also requires willingness to release. As divine energy descends, it often brings memories, old wounds, or emotions to the surface. Do not resist. These are not interruptions, they are invitations to healing. What resurfaces is what is ready to be let go. Tears may come, grief may stir, forgiveness may be demanded. This is not weakness, it is breakthrough, disguised as discomfort. Finally, use your voice. Prophesy over your own day. Speak aloud. This will be my turning point. I will not leave the same. Heaven will meet me here. Your words are not empty, they carry weight. They set expectation and align you with heaven's flow. When you speak faith, the atmosphere shifts to match it. Chosen one, do not walk into September 9th unprepared. Set your heart in reverence, your body in readiness, your mind in silence, your spirit in surrender, your environment in intention, and your tongue in prophecy. Do this, and you will not simply watch the day pass. You will step into it as one who knows it was written for you. So I ask, will you drift through this Tuesday as though nothing unusual is happening? Or will you prepare as one who understands that heaven has carved this moment into time for the chosen to encounter the divine? What will be released to the chosen? Chosen one, whenever heaven marks a day, it is not for empty wonder. There is always release. September 9th is not simply a time to feel energy. It is a time to receive what has been stored, delayed, and hidden. The divine does not visit without leaving something behind. And what will be released this Tuesday will awaken, ignite, and realign the chosen. The first release will be clarity. For too long, confusion has sat like a cloud, blinding direction, twisting choices, keeping many frozen. On this day, veils will lift. Some will suddenly see a solution that was invisible for years. Others will feel a strong inner knowing, a decision that once seemed impossible, now becoming obvious. Clarity is heaven's way of cutting through noise, and on September 9th, it will be poured out like light breaking through fog. The second release is courage. Fear has chained too many of the chosen, whispering lies of inadequacy, keeping them small, convincing them they are unprepared. This Tuesday, fear will lose its grip. Courage will rise in hearts like fire in dry wood. You will feel it, the shift from hesitation to conviction, from silence to boldness. Some will take steps they delayed for years. Others will speak what they once buried. Heaven is not only clarifying, it is empowering. Promises will also be reawakened. Words spoken over your life, visions once burning but since cooled by waiting, dreams you quietly buried, they will stir again. September 9th is not the finish line of fulfillment, but it is the trumpet declaring the promise still lives. You may hear echoes of old prayers, memories of encounters that once gave you fire. These are not nostalgia, they are reminders. They are seeds watered again by the Spirit, ready to grow. Healing will be released too. Not only healing of bodies, though some will feel sudden strength, freedom from pain, or rest like medicine, but deeper healing, wounds of rejection, betrayal, abandonment. Places of the soul that carried scars will be exposed, not to wound, but to free. Tears will wash away what was rotting inside. Memories will lose their poison. Forgiveness will flow where bitterness once lived. The divine energy is not only gentle light, it is also cleansing fire. And fire heals by burning away what no longer belongs. Relationships will realign. Expect shifts in the circle around you. Some connections will end, sometimes abruptly. People who cannot walk into your next season will quietly fade or forcefully leave. Do not cling to what heaven is cutting away. At the same time, new alignments will be released. Unexpected introductions, reconnection, or doors opening through people you did not anticipate. Heaven reorders circles because who surrounds you shapes where you go. September 9th will draw out what drains and draw in what builds. Above all, presence will be released. More than clarity, more than courage, more than healing, the greatest gift of this Tuesday is encounter. You may feel the room shift, the air heavy, your spirit trembling. You may cry or fall silent, unable to explain what is happening. This is not emotion, it is visitation. Heaven itself pressing close, wrapping around you as confirmation. I am here. I am with you. But remember, release requires space. Clarity comes when confusion is surrendered. Courage rises when fear is laid down. Healing flows when wounds are exposed. New relationships arrive when old ones are released. Presence fills when distractions are silenced. Heaven will not force itself upon a closed vessel. The chosen must open to receive. And so this Tuesday stands as both invitation and challenge. What will be released is not small. It has power to shift you permanently, but only if you let it. Only if you allow the divine energy to move where it chooses, not where you control. Chosen one. September 9th is not empty poetry. It is the day heaven has written to unlock what you need for the journey ahead. Clarity, courage, promises reawakened, healing, realignment, and presence. These are the treasures waiting. So I ask you, will you resist the release, clinging to the old, or will you stretch open your hands and receive what has been waiting for you all along? Chosen one, we arrive at the end of this revelation, but the day itself is only beginning. September 9th will not be remembered as just another Tuesday that slipped by unnoticed. It has been carved into time as a threshold, a door, a marker, and for those who are awake, it will leave a mark that nothing can erase. You will not remember this day because of what the world says about it. You will remember it because of what happened inside you. Others may look back and see routine, but you will look back and recall weight, presence, stirring. This Tuesday will not fade into the background of your weeks. It will remain a point in your journey that divides your life into before and after. Think of all the times you pleaded for a sign, all the nights you wondered if God had turned his face away, all the questions that ate at your faith. Today is the answer, not written in books, not shouted by crowds, but etched into your very being. September 9th is the day heaven whispers in ways undeniable. You were never forgotten. I was always moving. This is the time I chose to remind you. And yet, do not mistake this for a moment of comfort only. It is also a moment of decision. Heaven never forces. It invites. This Tuesday will stretch before you like a choice. You can dismiss it, explain it away, bury it under the noise of routine, or you can embrace it. You can choose to let it shape you, to let it ignite you, to let it rewrite your perspective of what is possible. The mark of this day will not be visible to everyone, but it will be undeniable to you. Your body will remember in sensations. Your mind will remember in clarity. Your spirit will remember in encounter. And when doubt tries to creep in tomorrow, next week, next year, you will have this anchor. On September 9th, I knew, I felt, I was marked. This mark is not meant to fade. It is a seed. From this day, new courage will grow. New clarity will sustain you. New healing will keep you free. New presence will guide you. The Tuesday itself will end, but what it released will ripple forward, echoing in decisions, relationships, prayers, and moments you have not yet lived. And when storms rise again, because they will, you will remember this Tuesday. When silence stretches again, because it may, you will hold on to the fact that you were not imagining things. Heaven did move, heaven did speak, heaven did touch you. This memory will become fuel, proof that God has not abandoned you, proof that your story is still unfolding. But above all, September 9th will stand as testimony. Testimony that divine energy is not a theory but a reality. Testimony that heaven still invades time. Testimony that the chosen are never left alone. And testimony that you, specifically you, are part of something greater than you realized. So I leave you with this. How will you carry this Tuesday as an ordinary day that slipped through your hands, or as the Tuesday that marked your spirit forever. Chosen one, let it be this: the Tuesday that cannot be forgotten, the Tuesday where heaven came near, the Tuesday that left its fingerprint on your soul, the Tuesday that whispered louder than the silence, "You are mine, and you will never be the same."